Forest Her, the next wave of conservation. Mother Earth is communicating with her waters and trees. Our ecosystem depends on trees to filter water, reduce sedimentation, provide oxygen, and grow food.
Back in August of 2010, and we decided to move to southern Lancaster County to this property, and it's called Hidden Valley. The pawpaw groves that we had here were previously cut all the way down. The prior landowner didn't understand what they really had, which was like a treasure trove of this beautiful native tree. It produces a really nice sized fruit, and then also it's great for wildlife. I spent a lot of time really caring for the land and to restore the ecology that belongs here. I did a lot of journaling and documenting with photos. We've counted 76 birds that migrate through this area. Thanks to having a pond and a wetland, there's all kinds of toads and frogs. There are a lot of snakes here, and I love snakes. Little ringneck snakes and milk snakes. They get a lot of credit in natural areas, but they don't often get credit in the backyards of people who own private lands. And so knowing that I was building a forest that's going to help to support all of these really cool species was just, to me, it was empowering. I've had a lot of tours here.
So this is like your own demonstration forest.
Exactly, exactly. Yep. Typically, when I would invite crowds over, sometimes anywhere from 10 people to 80 people at a time, I would first probably take them to our pond and show them just the aquatic wildlife, but plants, the beautiful native trees and the native shrubs. It was always one of the most special things to be able to show people that you can have a lot of pawpaws. They can help to build your forest. In my case, I use pawpaws like a ground cover because it's edible. It does a great job of absorbing stormwater runoff, especially if you're in a valley. And it's not just pawpaws. I have American persimmon. I have a lot of native plants that are edible that once upon a time they were used as valuable resources to Native Americans, to the communities that lived and worked here.
Myra Lloyd Dock was the first woman to serve on an advisory board before women could vote at the state level. And she helped establish a lot of the urban beautification and forestry standards in the area of her time. She was just really instrumental during her time in showing that anyone could be of value to the conservation community. But the fact that she achieved those things as a woman in her time when she had no right to vote is simply outstanding. Our office in Harrisburg is actually located just down the block from where her home was, so we have a deep connection to her story. We honor an awardee every year for the Myra Lloyd Dock Partnership Diversity Award.
Two recent recipients of the Myra Lloyd Dock Partnership Diversity Award are Kaisha Hooling for planting trees to cool the heat island effect in Philadelphia, and Shauna Yorty for growing community connections in a Lancaster neighborhood. The Pennsylvania Forestry Association presented its Myra Lloyd Dock Outstanding Woman Conservationist Award to Marcy Mowry for her work with the Pennsylvania Parks and Forest Foundation.
Our mission is to plant 10 million trees by 2025, and it's specifically focused on reducing the nutrient load heading into the Chesapeake Bay. The next wave of conservation with watershed science, I believe, will have a lot to do with how we innovate the industry, especially in regards to forestry. So nursery development is one of the things that we're working on right now, trying to increase the number of trees available, the biodiversity. We found that streamside trees in particular can really help keep the nutrient load here in Pennsylvania, keep it in its banks, and hopefully slow the progression of the sediment heading downstream. So the nutrient load that's heading into the bay is made up of nitrates, phosphorus, sediment. So it's really concerning to us when those things head downstream into the bay. It reduces the amount of oxygen in the water, which means we have less fish, less oysters, and generally the health of the bay goes down. Invasives here really struggle for the native tree to survive. And then when we have diseases come through, like elm disease, or looking at the plight of the American chestnut, you see these entire species being completely eradicated. So by having biodiversity, it allows us to bring more species into the mix. So if we have a tree disease, or if we have something that comes in to threaten the trees, we have more trees to choose from and hopefully less die-off.